Okay, today is the 19th. It's Wednesday, and we only have news in the late afternoon later today. So we still have plenty of time to trade, but I can only sit here until like 3 or 4 p.m. So if until then I don't get any trades, I'm not gonna trade today probably because I have to move some stuff into this new apartment. What happened so far is yesterday we had an unlucky day, but this SMT that I was talking about later that night um, when price was here, I pretty much just said okay, SMT forming, and it was just a clear sweep obviously, and it did. Look at the Asian session, wow, crazy. And now it looks like we are trying to break structure to the upside. However, now New York opened and we inversed, or at least disrespected, this 15-minute bullish area gap. Could be just a retrace into this order block here, but it really should have held this 15-minute bullish if it wanted to move higher. But it's only on the 15-minute, right? I mean, the 30-minute doesn't look good either. We have long wicks to both sides, to the downside, to the upside. On the 1 hour, we had this. We formed multiple 1 hour bearish area gaps before leaving a long wick here in this 1 hour candle. I have no idea what happened here at 8 a.m. During London, but yeah, we retraced into here, then swept that retrace, and now it looks like we want to move lower actually on the 1 hour. And on the 4 hour we see if it loads, if it wants to load finally. Nice. Let's have a 4 hour fair gap up here. I'm gonna delete all this yesterday's BS and now mark out all these levels. So we have this 4 hour fair gap that we formed during this Asia session. We swept this previous day low, very clear sweep here. Closed the body over it, price pushed up higher into this 1 hour, and now we're inversing this 30-minute and 15-minute and 5-minute fair gaps. So I am expecting a small retrace into this 5-minute, which already happened actually. Maybe in the 15-minute that we are currently forming. Yes. I don't know if we want to come back into this 15-minute bearish fair gap. If we do, that's a nice little entry to take a short. I'm overall pretty bearish, even though we had this sweep here. And I do not think, since we inverse this 15-minute fair gap, I do not think we want to move higher into this 4 hour fair gap. As of now, I do not think so. However, market is pretty choppy recently, and yeah, price is pretty choppy here on euro. I really do want to believe that we want to move lower pretty soon in the upcoming days, next week maybe, because I mean this is not an ideal trading scenario, trading environment, I think, at least to me. Like these price action, I don't like these sideways moves, sweeping both sides of liquidity. I'm not a big fan of that. So ideally we just move lower and continue the lower time frame trend. Now we also have this 30-minute that is currently forming. We just closed this 50-minute candle like that, below the previous 15-minute candle's low. I don't know, I don't think so now that we're gonna come back up here. If we do, that's just good. That's just good. But I also want to consider the previous hour low and high, where that is. So I'm gonna mark out, this is our previous hour low here. Previous are high. So we have this 4-hour fair gap here. I'm gonna mark out previous day's highs and lows on euro. So this was previous day's high. This was previous day low here that we swept. On the 4-hour we have no 4-hour fair gaps. We already mitigated them. Only this one that we currently formed. We also have this one down here that we have not yet tapped into. So this could be a target if you want to move lower. And then on the 1 hour we have one that we already mitigated, one that we haven't mitigated yet from Asia. Asian session. One of them is inside this 4-hour fair gap up here. So if market decides to break structure, even though we had this inversion now, then this could be a target for a long. The 30-minute, I'm gonna mark out these London lows and London highs that we have. So we have, this is London high here. Beautiful. We have, London low is, it's only this here. But like all these long wicks, I could mark out like this, but I don't want that. Like, look at this range. Not a big range, so maybe like this. So this is our London lows here. And then London highs here. I might gonna move to the 15-minute because it's much better to mark out like them. I want them to be small, to not cover the whole everything. So just like that, we had this last 15-minute bearish fair gap that we formed that was causing the sweep here. Completely came back into this small order block. We did a retrace into this equilibrium area, I believe, and then pushed higher off of that. Yeah, we just tapped into equilibrium. I swear this works so good. And then we broke structure on the 15-minute to the upside, forming a 15-minute bullish fair gap. And then we also closed the 15-minute candle after this bullish fair gap, but then we're now inversing it. So very interesting confluences here, contradicting each other. So this inverse here should hold if I would want to take the short scenario, if I would want to short this. But ideally it will come back to equilibrium and then close this body below this 15-minute bearish fair gap. That would be very nice. Once that 15-minute candle closes below that while tapping into this equilibrium, that's already a good for me it's a good entry. Like, tap into this breaker here would be nice. This is the little order block here basically that we started forming this 15-minute and 5-minute bearish fair gap from. Yes, and coming back into this order block would be very nice. Tap into this. Basically, I believe this is our breaker here. Just tap into that breaker over equilibrium and then move lower would be awesome for a short entry. Let's go to GU, do the same steps, everything. I'm gonna delete yesterday's drawings, yesterday's indicators and shit. And now let's mark out previous day's highs. We are heading towards previous day's lows, as you can see on the daily. High time frame bias should be bullish for this London-New York overlap. However, I really think sooner or later we're gonna have some bearish days. So on the daily, we are now currently bullish, but we don't really care about the daily. We care about what's going on in the lower time frame. So this is a previous day high, previous day low. We have multiple 4-hour fair gaps. I mean two is multiple, right? So we have one here, another one here. Okay, long wicks to downside, but still forming lower lows. Heading towards previous day low here. On the hourly, we have no 1 hour bearish. We have one here that we already mitigated, but we don't have any that we haven't yet mitigated. So, and now on the 30 minute, as you can see, we also inverse this 30-minute fair gap here very nicely, very clearly. Once New York opened, not once New York opened, like actually before New York opened, and now we're just falling, waterfall that we could not see yesterday on Solana, unfortunately. On the 30 minute, I'm also gonna mark out these London lows highs. So we have this prior New York open London lows here. And then we have this prior New York open, bro. Prior New York open London highs here. Cool. We already broke below that London lows area, and we're also heading towards that. On Euro, I kind of knew we don't wanna come up to this 15-minute fair gap because we closed this 15-minute New York opening candle below this inversion 15-minute candles low. That's meaning we are unlikely to come back into that inversed 15-minute fair gap unless we want to continue higher. So yeah, we are only thing I can do now is wait for reaction off of this area, either break below it or reject off of it and move higher. But in that case, the long would be a bit more risky because we inverse this bullish, and ideally we should have hold here and only move higher. So taking a long would mean that I might have to wait for this 15-minute fair gap to get disrespected in order to target these highs here. And yeah, I don't really want to wait for that. I don't have time for that as of now. Well, looks like there's a small rejection off of it, at least now on the 5 minutes, 1 minute. So nice long wick 5 minutes so far here. We might just want to sweep this previous hour low and this hourly low here and close a candle up there, but I'm also gonna keep this equilibrium level up there. Actually, it's now in exactly this 15-minute bearish fair gap. So what could also happen is that we retrace now into that, and now and after that, once we tap into equilibrium, got better prices for shorts. Then I see a break of structure in a 5 minute, and I can target this low that we currently formed, and then this low here, and also this huge 4-hour fair gap if we would want to continue lower. So that's what I see on the Euro now. On the 1 hour we sub those lows, but we haven't came to previous day low, we just came to this London low range. On GU we are also very deep in this London low range. I don't like this, that it's so thick. That's what she said. So yeah, some kind of reaction now would be nice. We keep sweeping these lows, forming lower lows, then sweeping the sweeping these highs. That's an interesting scenario. We also form lower lows and higher highs at the same time. So that's what I call the megaphone pattern, right? Because it's like a tube or like a funnel sideways. whatever. Maybe it's called turtle soup, but I could be wrong. I don't know. As nice rejection will be nice off of that area here. But this equilibrium is very nicely aligning to this 15-minute bearish here. Very nicely. So the dollar started to fall, meaning Euro and GU now gonna fly back into this equilibrium area here. If not, then it's gonna break structure above its London highs. Oh, this looks so bad. Seemingly the DXY just wanna break above this level here. It tried multiple times but couldn't close any candle body above that level here. Hence, it left these long wicks to the upside. But look at this. It also doesn't want to go lower here. So now at this point, the best thing you can do, I can do, I don't know about you, but the best thing I can do in my opinion is to just wait for confirmation that we want to move higher, or clear confirmation that okay, again we hit our head into this roof again and we want to move finally lower. But ideally we're not gonna do this sideways moves the entire New York London overlap. That would be bad, and I'm already I already should be finding a good setup. This inverse looks good. Like ideally I want to see the dollar close a candle above this previous day high, and then maybe before that we come back into this inverse and then get a big push. That would be nice. And if the dollar would go above that level, that would mean we also would break below London lows area here on Euro and GU and just move lower. So a 50-minute candle close below that area would be very nice and good confirmation that we want to move lower. But before that we might want to come back into this 15-minute and then do that. The other scenario could be that we don't go up and now just break below here and move lower. And the third scenario is we come up here. I'm gonna draw it on the side. We come up here, we do a small retrace, and then close a 15-minute candle above it, so we inverse the inverse fair gap. Basically, not inverse, but disrespect the inverse fair gap and move higher into London highs and into this 1 hour and 4 hour fair gap. But I don't think so that this last scenario gonna be the one playing out. It could be, but why would we leave so many long wicks to the downside when we can just leave 1 or 2 and then come up here, you know? Okay, so during this 1 hour, in this 1 hour candle, which we already moved for 40 minutes now, we came down into this London low area. We came back above previous hour low, and now we still have 20 minutes and we came below previous hour low again. So we were basically chopping around between London low area and previous hour low area. So we could not yet come back into this 15-minute bearish. I do not know if we will, because this candle structure is not promising, yeah, I mean the dollar doesn't look like it wanna come back into this inverse here, so we might as well just gonna break below these London lows and move lower and mark out TPs for the short scenario. They marked out TPs for the long scenario. I need a clear confirmation off of these ranges. These two are my main partners right now. This 15-minute fair gap and this London low area. I want to see some kind of reaction off of these two, and based on that I will know which way we are likely heading towards, this 4-hour fair gap or this one down here. So I'm gonna wait for either of these two to get a reaction off. We already got one here, but it could be that we just want to come up here and then move lower. And if I do see a break of structure on a 5 minute off of this 15 minute, in the last 5 minutes of one of those 15 minute candles, then I'm gonna look for shorts on the 1 minute, and then if we disrespect this and move higher, then I want to see a small retrace and then a clear confirmation on the 1 minute that we want to move higher into this 4-hour fair gap here, London high area, and this 1-hour fair gap up there. So that's the two scenarios. This SMT, bullish SMT, is very clear that we wanted to push price higher. Not the SMT that pushes price higher, but clear indication of what's gonna happen later. I hate the fact that I decide not to trade Solana today, and it's a very very good setup. I did not even look at the chart at all. I did not even look at the chart at all, and I could have already doubled. Like, I would have 100%, I know myself, 100% enter off of this 15 minutes fair gap close. I mean, look at this. New York opens, right? Right before New York opens, we see a bullish momentum here, forming this 15 minutes fair gap, and also this one. We do a retrace into this one. We don't close any candles below that level. We leave long wicks here. Then we close a 15-minute candle in this bearish 15 minute. Then we have this long 15-minute wick here with this small body. And then I will still wait to it because this is not yet clear. But once you see this long wick, and then this very long body right next to this long wick 15-minute candle, like that, closes up here. That's a very clear, very clear indication that, hey, we're gonna move higher. I would have put my stop loss as usual below the 15-minute candle low, and then, bro, just target this high. Like, I always find these days where there's no move, like yesterday. And when I decided not to trade Solana, the issue is with the 100x leverage, I probably wouldn't have been able to put my stop loss below this 50-minute low. So maybe it would have been a 80x, 70x leverage, but still, during this 2.75% move, probably would have doubled whatever the amount I would have risked. Probably would have doubled here. So unlucky. I really decided to not to trade Solana today, and the day I decide not to trade Solana is the day when the perfect move, perfect setup comes out. And on Euro, that I decide to keep an eye on, nothing happens. Look at this New York session. Look at this New York session here. 0.1%. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. GU is a bit more active. It came back into this inverse here. Left a long wick on this 15-minute candle. We already tapped in it before. Then left a long wick now. Right there. But Euro doesn't move anything. Yesterday was unlucky. Today was unlucky on purpose. Not moving at all. Euro is not moving at all, so I don't think I'm gonna trade as of now, and I have to go now. So quick recap of yesterday. I left around 3:30 because there was no action on the chart. Couldn't entry. So waiting for some kind of reaction off of this London lows or this 15-minute fair gap. Well, we did not touch the 15-minute fair gap. Even though we formed a bullish SMT here, it wasn't strong on Euro, but it did a pretty good job here on GU. Came back into the same fair gap, this 15-minute bearish. but it didn't do much here. It was just shopping around while euro broke below London lows and ended up hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 TPs. So all 4 TPs would have been hit if I had time to sit here. Because after this break above this very clear break below London lows, I would have entered probably from this retrace with my stop loss above this 15-minute break below London lows, and TP1 would have hit here 1 to 1.6, then 1 to 2, then 1 to 2.5, and 1 to 2.92, even a 1 to 3. So unfortunate, I could not trade this. Solana trade that I decided not to take. I decided not to look at the chart even for that day. Well, would have been a very nice trade. But it's fine. It's just unfortunate that I decided to lock in on Forex and not look on Solana, even though I knew I'm not gonna have some time to fully sit here from New York Open until London close. But yeah, anyways, it ended up playing out well, and the news came out at 7. There was a very bullish SMT, very clear, big SMT divergence to the upside. News came out. It ended up going back into this order block. The order block showed some rejection. Did not come back into this inverse here, and then it was just chopping around until London highs give a resistance level or some sort, and now we are in the next day, London Open. So that was the recap for the 19th. No trades taken at all, even though there were 2 very good opportunities, a good long and a good short opportunity for euro. But I wasn't here. I left at 3:30. So that's it. Today is the 20th, and I think I'm not gonna trade today, but I will still keep my eye on the charts. But I'm probably not gonna upload the video for the 20th. We will see though, we will see. I might gonna take a trade on Solana if the setup is gonna be good. And yeah, that's it for the 19th. At least I know that this strategy works, right? At least I know that I was confident that once I see some kind of reaction of this area here, or the 15-minute fair gap or the order block, then clear entry. 15-minute breakaway candle here, tap back into this 15-minute bearish, enter, stop loss above the 15-minute candle high, and 1 to 3 would have hit. So yes, that's it. No trades today.